So, if you're not aware, the prosperity gospel is if you give, you will receive. And I guess I should lay the groundwork first. The Bible, I don't remember exactly where, but somewhere the Bible says that you should tithe 10% of your earnings. And tithing is just giving to the church, right? Giving to God, quote unquote. So you give 10% of your offering to the church, so the church can fund itself and get more, I guess, stuff to support the church. And the prosperity gospel teaches that you will receive back from that, right? You will, quote unquote, reap what you sow. You will get money if you give money, which, I mean, maybe in some sense, but it's obviously not coming from God. I feel like that's pretty obvious. First of all, I mean, God's not real. We've covered this, but also, I feel like I should go more into that, why I don't believe in God anymore. Anyway, first of all, Jesus literally said, sell all your things, give your money to the church, actually said, give your money to the poor, and, follow him. So, the prosperity gospel is fundamentally flawed in that way already. We're as Christians, you're not supposed to go out and try to make money, or you're supposed to give everything you have away to the poor. But beside that, giving money isn't going to get you money. Why would God bless you? Why would God give to you for giving to him? That just seems kind of counterintuitive. Like, yeah, sure, you're proving your faith or whatever, but God's all-knowing, is he not? Can he not just see, oh, hey, you're faithful, here, be blessed? Why does he need you to give to him to be blessed? Sorry, I just breathed in my microphone. I forgot I don't have a pop filter on. So I feel like my problem is pretty obvious. Why does God... Yeah, in fact, why does God need you to give tithing? According to the churches, it's so that the churches can keep their lights on and keep their pastors as pastors and all that, and pay their staff. But they always say, oh, you should give money and not worry about being able to pay your bills because God will provide. There are people who have gone basically broke by paying tithes, and then they'll, have to work their butts off just to keep the lights on and also give some money to the church. But the church, they don't ever have God be their provider. They just tell people to give them money. And this goes doubly for pastors like Kenneth Copeland and Joel Osteen and them. Like, honestly, I don't know if they genuinely believe what they preach. I doubt it, personally. But, I mean, they make money and, good for them. But you don't have to do it in the scummiest way possible. Give some of that away, dude. More of it. Don't buy another jet. Come on, Kenneth. Don't buy another jet. Practice what you preach and give your money away to the poor and to the hell, even other churches, smaller startup churches or community churches. I mean, that's not what I would donate money to. I'd probably donate to, I don't know, to other charities, probably stuff like hospitals, but, don't just keep it all for yourself and then try to preach giving money away. That just doesn't work. Also, mega churches especially, but this applies to quite a few churches, they make a ton of money, right? And churches are marked as a non-profit, which makes sense under what the scriptures actually say. However, because churches are marked as non-profit, they cannot be taxed, which doesn't end up working when they do end up making a profit, So it just, I think one church made something like $88 million or something ridiculous like that. Not to mention, I can't imagine how much Kenneth makes or Joel Osteen makes. And they always say, oh, well, it's not about how much money you actually make. Yeah, the Bible says a rich man can't enter heaven. Or it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than it is for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Whatever the hell that means. But it's where your heart is. It's about what you believe. It's about what you're doing with that money. Which actually I don't think Kenneth thinks that much. He said something like his jet or his airplane, that it's dedicated to God, but it's not God's, because it's his. God, quote unquote, gave it to him, even though he dedicated it to God. So it's his jet, which is like aren't we not supposed to have earthly possessions like that? Aren't we supposed to dedicate or to give everything we have to God? Is that not how that's supposed to work? And keep in mind, when I say we, I mean like me as a Christian, which I'm not anymore. Anyway, it's just incredibly harmful for churches to be making these claims, and especially it's annoyingly hypocritical for the pastors to not be practicing what they preach, you know? Like, there are so many people who do everything they can to just make that little bit extra money so that they will have enough to give to their church. But then there are also people who make money from the church shamelessly, and it's not even required for churches to disclose how much they earn, because they're nonprofit, so that they can make as much money as they want and they don't have to say anything. And that's just gross. I'm all for eating the rich, as it were, and doing so is made a lot more difficult when the rich are considered charities and nonprofits, because there's nothing we can do about that. We should, and this is probably going to be a controversial statement, we should tax the churches, not because their goal isn't necessarily to bring good to people. Some of them might believe that's what it is. Some of them might want to bring good. That's not the end goal of the church, right? The end goal of the church is to bring more people to it, to get more money, to bring more people to it. And yeah, I know it's like religious freedom or whatever, but it seems worth it to tax the church. I mean, oops, I'm sorry, I'm trying to not breathe into my microphone. I keep getting it off a pop up there, sorry. Taxing the church would just solve a lot of problems. Taxing Joel and Kenneth and all the other mega churches would also definitely help a lot. Like, even if it's only mega churches that we tax, like, that's better than nothing, right? My old church, I'm not sure how much my pastor made. I remember donating quite a bit. I would wager at least a couple $100 over the few years I was there, and that's while making no money, right? That's while I'm a kid who doesn't even make allowance, because our family is too middle class for that. I mean, my parents bought me toys, so I didn't really care about allowance, but I mean, I donated a significant portion of the money that I made to the church, and I mean, I don't know how much our church made. It couldn't have been very much. They were probably barely keeping the lights on in that place, but they had a big sound system, and they had a ton of microphones, more than they even needed. They had a big drum set, and they had, all this fancy stuff, a giant projector, and that's just not necessary, right? So even if the goal is to just keep the lights on in the church, I feel like you don't need to go all out. You can just have, even just a building, some lights, some warmth, and dang it, I keep breathing in my microphone. I really need to stop that. And one projector. I feel like that's a huge problem that a lot of Christians face, that they're trying to be too lavish for what the Bible says, and it's either go all in on what the Bible says or don't be a Christian at all, which is partially the reason I'm not a Christian. That's why I started questioning my faith, because I didn't believe, or I didn't want to follow every single thing that the Bible said. Anyway, that's all I have for this one, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I love you all. I hope to do more of these. I'm not necessarily struggling to come up with topics, but topics that I can talk about long enough to make them a full video. But I mean, you know, I'll figure something out. I don't know how to end this.